And we are back. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James. I am here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It may happen, we don't know yet. But I want to first introduce my co-host, my best friend in the whole wide world, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
Hi.
Yeah, so we are back with another unpopular opinion. But before I divulge into this one, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody who has watched my unpopular opinion on Justin Bieber and Jaden Smith. I want to thank you guys very, very much. Those of you who subscribe to my channel, I have, I think, over 15 new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. Even if this content is not what you wanted, I appreciate the love nonetheless because this helps me get noticed. And we never know. We have a lot of other topics coming up in the near future. So we're going to keep this segment of my channel alive with unpopular opinion since, I didn't really expect that. I didn't think, overall I would get as many people who have commented, whether you agreed with me or not. This is an open space. You are free to have any opinion you want, regardless if it agrees with my opinion or not. I thank each and every one of you who have commented because overall, you did not have to tune in. You did not have to watch however long that video was. You did not have to watch it. So I'm just here telling you from the bottom of my heart, me and Mrs. Best, we thank you for one, watching it, two, liking it, and then three, subscribing to me and leaving a comment. That made my day. So I want to thank you. And Mrs. Best, is there anything you wanted to add on top of that?
I think it's wonderful. I had a feeling these videos would do well because oftentimes people don't just give their actual opinion, especially if it is different from the popular one. So very good. And to his subscribers, hey, keep subscribing, you guys. Keep subscribing. He will have lots of good things coming soon to be horror movie reviews. He's done a lot. He's dedicated. He's a creative. So I will always support you. Very good job.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that highly. So, if you guys read this unpopular opinion, this is Aneka Ahim. Does she deserve another chance on Real Housewives of Potomac? Now, the reason why I titled that is if you guys are not familiar with who this is, I want to first and foremost say Aneka Ahim is a cast member, currently cast member of the Real Housewives of Potomac that airs on Bravo, sponsored by Universal, NBC Universal. And there was a big controversy of her being on the show, of her being an Igbo Nigerian woman, and there being another Igbo Nigerian woman. This has caused a lot of controversy, and in the entitlement has pinched these two women together, where we couldn't focus on the well-being of their lives, only focus on the drama of them being combative with each other, when that is not the direction of the African tribe. So it has been reported that Aneka Ihim, according to the Jasmine brand, has been fired from Real Housewives of Potomac. Now, Aneka Ahim has not confirmed this information. So she has not confirmed it. Bravo has not confirmed it. So recently speaking, she did an interview with the Shade Room where she has talked about a lot of different things that have gone on in Real Housewives of Potomac as she was on the show for this last season 8. She's talked about the controversy between her and her fellow castmate, Dr. Wendy Asefo, and how that has turned amok. And then she also has some thoughts and opinions. Now, one of the things that this franchise in particularly has alleged throughout this entirety of this show is colorism. Now, I wanted to talk about the colorism because I feel like a lot of people do not understand what colorism is. And a lot of people do not understand the virtue of how colorism, it's plays effect into a lot of different avenues, whether it be in the workplace, whether it be between us, African Americans against our own people. It does play a huge part. It's been something that has gone through life in general. So I'm going to read the definition according to Google of what colorism is, and then we're going to play a video of Aneka's admission to colorism as she feels that it's on her show. So colorism is discrimination based on skin tone, also known as colorism or shadeism, is a form of prejudice or discrimination in which people of certain ethnic groups or people who are perceived as belonging to a darker skinned race are treated differently based on the darker skin tone. Now, reading that, I've seen examples of this my whole life. I've seen examples of this my whole life. You have people who say they don't want darker skin tone babies, so they tend to go with someone lighter skin or maybe even of a different ethnicity to ensure that doesn't happen. Then you have people who are judged based on characteristics. You have people who are judged based on society brackets. So there's lots of things that focus on in terms of colorism. Now, Mrs. Best, I'm going to turn the floor over to you. I would like to know what are your thoughts on colorism before we move on to Aneka?
It exists. I think it's important to acknowledge that first because especially with this cast, a lot of them like to act as if it doesn't exist, not just on the show, but in the world. It does unfortunately exist. I think the history of it goes back to slavery and how those with darker complexions were forced to do the grunt work, work on the fields and things like that. Those of lighter complexions were not forced to do those things. They still suffered, but I think it stems to that. Um, it can also happen in ways that people are unconsciously aware of. And I think that's an important thing to pay attention to. Psychology has theories that focus, like Freudian theories, on the unconscious mind, which is a thing. It does drive some of the things that we do, some of the things that we believe, and how we behave. So I do think it exists. Um, that's all I'll say for now. I'm curious to see what Neka said because I didn't watch the whole interview. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all know I'm the queen of just scrolling past it and letting our good old fashioned James Jackson come in and report it. But I'm curious to see what she said, and then I'll
Mhm.
comment further. Um,
Okay,
mhm.
so we're going to go ahead and play the Shade Room's interview with her. So I'm going to go ahead and share my 1 second because I want to make sure I rewind it, make sure we hear it. But yeah, that's a good analysis, and I appreciate you sharing your opinion on it more so because we need to start having these conversations.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and share my screen, and then we're going to go ahead and talk about this. Not Kathy Hilton. Hold on.
She's a mess too.
Okay. All right.
Witnessed it at all?
I haven't personally experienced it, right? And it doesn't mean that it hasn't happened to anyone else, and anyone else claiming that they have had this experience or someone did this or someone did that. That doesn't discount or discredit what they claim for themselves. Me personally, I haven't experienced it with the ladies. I think my association with the light skinned people and people disliking them because of their colorism, they've disliked me as a dark skinned Black person for associating with them. I've gotten such heinous comments like Uncle Tom, that I'm their pet monkey. No one ever asked me, why am I friendly with these women, right?
Because so why are you friendly with the women?
Because they've treated me with respect and kindness, and they're fun people.
Okay.
And I treat them with respect, kindness, and I'm fun too.
But do you think it exists in the group, or do you think that some of your castmates are colorist?
So now I recapped this show on my channel. I did all 21 episodes. In the moment, what I will give Aneka is that she may not have experienced it or seen it predicated to the other women. I will give her that. However, it is bothersome to me when she says that she experienced it on the flip side of the light skinned women having colorism issues predicated against them. Now, that's problematic on so many levels that I feel like I don't understand how you would relate the two. I don't understand how you relate the two because I'm explaining like this. I don't feel like when it comes to it being colorism because they're being accused of it, that's the same thing as you giving a behavior towards someone who's dark and complected and oppressing them in some kind of way behind it. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, the exact woman she's talking about, which is Giselle, Ashley, Mia, Karen, they all benefit because all of them have not had a storyline. The entire I'm gonna give them 7 seasons. I'll exclude season 1. The entire time, and have made a mockery and trying to pit the other women against each other to get them off the show when they don't like them. That is a form of colorism due to the fact of the matter that when one of the other women that are in that collective circle gets into it, we've seen Mia physically assault Wendy, but there was no repercussions. Monique physically assaulted a woman, and you guys tried to get her out. But Bravo said, no, no, we're going to keep her here. But she decided not to come back. You see how that goes? So they refused to film with certain cast members of the show, which to me is BS. I don't think that that should be allowed. And for me, the last comment that she made, when she said that, why don't you ask me why I'm friends with these women? And to me, it's because they don't know you well enough to have an issue with you yet. So if they don't know you well enough to have an issue with you yet, of course they're going to come off sweet and endearing. All the other women experience that. But until you act out of character or until one of them does something that offends you, then no, they're not going to show their true colors to you. They're going to have you in as alliance until it's no longer convenient for them. That's how that works. So for me, her answer should have been that I could see examples and I could see how it could be perceived that way. Because I do see in terms on that very stage when the fight broke out, and I was present for that. Giselle blaming Candace and Wendy automatically, and Kiera for the fight. Automatically, when one had nothing to do with the other, she could have vouched for Wendy and said, Wendy had nothing to do with that. Why would you put her in it? Kiana was defending herself. Why would she be responsible? Candace did nothing but call her names. Why would she be responsible? And that's what I'm saying. When you say that, when you're not putting everything together, Anneka, this is what happens. You have to understand you were there. You were present. Wendy even gave you credit and said that you tried to diffuse the situation. The other young lady involved was not a darker complected woman. So once again, and she started all of that. So I'm trying to figure out, why would you not think to use that example?
The thing of it is Nneka is someone who may have been part of that college scandal, allegedly. She says she grew up privileged and had well things because an attorney would be able to look at stuff from different perspectives. I have several attorneys in my family. They look at things in a different way than the traditional person does who's not trained in law. It's just a fact. It's a fact. So I feel like for Nneka to say and expect us to feel like, oh, I haven't experienced colorism, but then I did experience it because of who I aligned with. That's not you experiencing it. It's like you're an attorney. Wouldn't you sit back and say, well, what if these women are just aligning with me because they have been accused of this season after season, and aligning with me is a way that they could say, look, we're not colorists. We're friendly with Nneka. But one season is not enough time for that. So I just feel like Nneka is irresponsible in what she says. I mean, this is why Andy forgot she was a lawyer and asked Wendy the legal question at the reunion. There's definitely something about her that gives me thirsty. And yes, two things can be true. You can be African And you can also be willing to have a beef with someone who is another African, and you can be in competition with other Africans. So I feel like Wendy and NECA probably pulled some sort of weird energy or something with each other because of this show. But I think it's irresponsible for NECA to be commenting on the issues of colorism on this show when she has only done a season.
I agree. Because if she didn't give the answer that I would have given, then the other answer would be like, I don't think I've been here long enough to comment on that.
Or
So I'm not
stay
going to.
away from it when your
Mhm.
only storyline this whole season was based on culture. So you're either discussing culture or colorism, two things that are very, very taboo, very, very controversial, and you're doing it in a way that's irresponsible. Listen, I don't know if she's fired. I know that this is the unpopular opinion. Does she deserve another chance? My personal opinion, unpopular opinion, no. I think they need to start encouraging new housewives, not just NECA, who come onto these shows, to not just align with whoever's popular or align with someone in a clique. Don't be clicked up. Your focus should be coming on this show, showing who you are, telling your story. And if you get into it with people on the side, fine. But she came in obviously thirsty and with a motive. And it seems like who she aligned with is very intentional. You cannot comment on these women like you know any of them, whether you cool or not, when you were only here for a couple months out the year. So I don't feel she
I feel
deserves
like
a chance.
I feel like even if she doesn't consider what I just said colorism, the example I gave with the fight, I feel like to me still you can allude that these women have been saying the same thing you've been present for, and there is different treatment of all of them. There's different treatment when it comes to Candace. There's different treatment when it comes to Wendy. There's different treatment, and you've witnessed it firsthand. You have witnessed Giselle walking into a room and not speaking to either one of them, but engaging with all of you. Now she could put that, well, she doesn't like them, but she caused it. She caused all of this. And regardless if I wasn't cool with somebody, I'm going to speak when I see them in a room, especially if they invited me to something. That's just common decency. So I don't know. I just feel like for her to answer that question, Shade Room, I understand what you were trying to do, but I feel like you pigeonholed her into something and it didn't come out right because
The shade room is okay. It's journalists there. The people who work there are educated. But I felt like the shade room was a little bit biased in the situation. A lot of African women are responsible for running the company, keeping it going. It's all of those things. So I feel like they're a little bit biased with the interview. I feel like the African community being connected is probably why and how NECA got the interview. But I think it was irresponsible of NECA to do it. You
you think
talked
it was
more,
her.
yeah,
Mhm.
just as like professionally, because these people have contractual agreements, sometimes non-compete clauses, and other things that come with being on the show. This is why Robin, when we really think about it, is likely losing her job. I don't think it has to do with the fact that she's not solving the issue with Candace. I think it has to do with the fact that she keeps telling people things about her life or expressing her opinion on things off and away from the network. And that's what NECA has done. And then you're commenting on stuff as if you've been there for so long. So I feel like the best thing she could have done is sit quietly with her husband to go and do interviews after they go off air, after Robin's firing has been announced and Candace's pregnancy has been announced, and Andy has made and done his shady comment on Andy Radio. Now you're suddenly having an interview too. I think that she's trying to benefit off the popularity of what's happening with other cast members around the show that is not popular because of her, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Interesting point. Well, here's the thing. So Mrs. Best was a no to NNeka Ihim for does she deserve another chance? I love my best friend dearly, but this is the point of the panel of why I have her here because we don't always agree. I actually want her to get a second chance, only solely based on this clip right here. And I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to tell you And after we watch the clip, I'm going to tell you why I feel like I want her to get a second chance.
Your like what like your actual businesses are. So we know you're a lawyer and you have multiple businesses, and you know you're in employment law. But so what are your like businesses outside of that, or in addition to?
So I have 2 children in the forms of businesses and companies.
Okay. When did that happen?
I thought we were trying to get pregnant. I'm pregnant right now with twins. No, my 2 kids, Hello Africa.
Yeah.
And that's a very special business for me because I started it when I was in LA. And I was motivated by my move to Los Angeles to create it. And basically, Hello Africa is an African social networking app to connect Africans in the diaspora. You know, when I moved here from LA, I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
Like I literally was just like, I'm moving to LA, and I was gone. And me being a Nigerian and growing up natively Nigerian, I feel safe and comfortable in my community. And so I was like, hey, where can I meet people? Where can I find friends? Where can I find events? How can I get in the mix? How can I find my people? And there weren't really easy options or opportunities to, you know, locate the restaurants or what's popping or any of those things. So I created Hello Africa as a way for Africans in diaspora to meet each other, to connect for dating, whether it's also social networking, employment networking, and also to promote and advertise events and opportunities like that.
All in one.
All in one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got HelloFresh.
HelloFresh is the
oh my
food
God,
service.
girl, I'm hungry. I told you I was
You just
hungry.
say you're hungry.
It's a shame.
Should I add a component of food to the Hello Africa?
Yes, yes, please. I'm starving. So we've got Hello Africa.
Yes.
And then what else?
Bido.
Bido, what's that?
That is my sparkling wine company.
Ooh.
I told you I love bubbles, girl.
Yes.
do.
Okay, I want some of that too.
I got you.
Okay.
So now, if y'all know who this is and watch Real Housewives of Potomac, I want y'all to comment if y'all knew that she had that.
Here's my thing. Nothing in that clip changes my mind. It actually confirms it even more, because if I'm coming on a show and you know that if you have your company prior to being on Bravo, then you get your profits. You don't got to share your stuff with them like that. So I would be there talking about my company whenever I could. I think that this is also a mistake that Crystal made coming on Housewives of Beverly Hills.
I think so as well.
She
yes.
runs a coconut water that is so popular. My husband drink it all the time, literally every day. I did not know that she owned it. She came on as the creator of Lion King's wife. And so everyone's like, oh, she got that Disney money, not knowing she's a multi-million-dollar company without this man separate from him. So I feel like that's the biggest mistake you could make. You were so caught up in trying to be a part of drama, thinking that drama is what people want solely for entertainment, that you failed to tell us that you have a global African dating website that I have heard of and know people who have found love.
I don't know anybody who's found love yet, because I don't know if she has.
People, a handful of people, some of them have kids now, like who have met through that app. So it's weird that she wouldn't talk about that, especially if you're going to align with Giselle. You could have found Giselle an African man to meet. She already liked that dark meat. So you could have found Giselle a man, and that could have made you more interesting versus coming for your African sister.
Right. And this is why I'm mad at her. Because I felt like that would have been phenomenal if she would have did an event surrounding that app and that dating precinct and what it is. Because a lot of people don't know. I knew what it was, of course, because I wasn't on it personally, but I know somebody who was on it. But the problem that I have with her is that the fact that you own this app and nobody knew it, nobody knew she owned this app. Why didn't you put that on the show? Or if you did put it on the show, why didn't you fight harder to do an event and then have Bravo come and then reveal what it was? I want her to get a second chance, because I feel like there are not enough people who are speaking up, because I know a couple of Black creators who developed apps and don't get the special notoriety or exposure to the app having this kind of platform. So I feel like she's in the right place. Maryland is full of what she is signing up for. And I just want her, if she is going to come back, which we don't know, y'all, once again, we don't know if she's coming back or not. But if she does come back, Aneka, I want you to somehow put this on the show.
Did you see that? If she comes back, I want to see her show us her working, because obviously she doesn't practice employment law anymore and hasn't in some time. Which I wouldn't either if I had a husband who was a traveling doctor and owned an app as well. So I'm not mad at her for that. If she comes back, share the app, NECA. But did you see that Ashley Darby has posted a cryptic message online, allegedly, and now people are thinking that she may not be coming back because she's posted cryptic messages online?
I saw the cryptic message and I saw the video. I don't know. I need Bravo to make this. I need somebody to make a statement. I'm not, listen, y'all, when it comes to these housewife franchises, when I recap them on my channel or when I report on them, whether if it's an upstage video or if it's an unpopular opinion, I need to see the source give me statements, because Robin was supposed to be fired every other season and she ends up popping back out on our screen. The fact that she turned her own tea into that, that's why I made an updates video. Candace saying she's quitting, that's why I made an update video. I need the source. So until Aneka tells me, or not me personally, but until Aneka tells the world that she is in fact not coming back to Bravo, that is when I will report that she is not coming back to Bravo. But I want her to get a second chance only solely based on her giving more notoriety to her app and having more people of African ancestry or Africans in general to sign up for the app and have it a little bit more well known. And also open it up, Aneka, to people who aspire to have an African partner. Open it up to the particular homosexuals, please, and thank you. Because it's not as of today. So please open it up to us as well, because I'm sure there are Africans who have left the motherland, came to the U.S. and is now being their true, authentic selves without their parents knowing about it. So please open it up to everybody, all inclusive. If you come back next year, or if you don't, just do it because I said to do it. I think that would be great. Open it up to everybody, so we can learn our cultures. I might do an ancestry. I might come from Nigeria. I don't know. So we don't know.
That's difficult because people have to understand it's still taboo in their culture. So they probably gonna have the fear that they if African community, they talk a lot, they nosy. So it's like if they like, oh, you dated this person and he's a guy. If anybody who African see them, that they go tell someone auntie, go tell someone cousin, who go tell someone godmama, and somehow it's all the way back in Lagos. That's how they be. It's sad, but that's how it be.
Well, time to turn tables. If the Pope can change, so can Africa. So, so I'm just saying, so can Africa. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. Y'all have lions who are homosexual. I don't understand why, but that's neither here nor there. I'm serious. You got this video proof of that in the world. Y'all look that up. But anyways, that's it, you guys. That's my video. I am on her coming back. Mrs. Best is for her getting the boot. If you guys watch Real Housewives of Potomac, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you think she deserves another chance, or do you think she should be fired? I, once again, want her to have a second chance. Mrs. Best saying, nope, kick rocks. That's it. That's all. Like, comment, and subscribe. I got a lot more coming to you guys starting on Monday. I am excited. Me and Mrs. Best got a lot of homework to do, but the next unpopular opinion video is definitely going to be one that is going to be for the books, hopefully even bigger than my Justin Bieber and Jaden Smith video. And it is related, y'all. It is very much so related. That's the only clue I'm giving. So we'll see you guys soon. Thank you once again for everybody, all my new subscribers. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you here on Dishwasher My Reviews channels. I'm going to have so much more content coming. I'm going to try to dedicate myself to this YouTube life. It is hard, but I'm going to make sure I do it for y'all. We thank you so much, Mrs. Best. It has been a pleasure. Thank you for joining me once again on another unpopular opinion video. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.